So our next presenter is Abbe Rosenthal and Dr. Beth Murphy. So Abbe Rosenthal is the Assistant Director and leads corporate partnerships, student employment, alumni engagement, and professional development, as well as executive coach and externship exchange advisor for Rutgers Professional Science Master's Program. Abbe coaches students and alumni on their career goals, challenges, and leadership aspirations. She helped grow the externship exchange program by forming partnerships with over 50 organizations. Abbe facilitates several leadership labs within the externship exchange programs, including leadership skills, team collaboration, project management, and effective data presentations. Abbe has over 15 years of experience in talent acquisition, leadership coaching, and learning and development, supporting senior levels and their teams to improve engagement and performance across industries, functions, levels, and geographies. Abbe holds a master's degree in applied industrial organizational psychology with a specialty in workplace diversity from Chicago School of Professional Psychology and a bachelor's degree in business, summa cum laude, from Fairleigh Dickinson University. Dr. Beth Murphy is a scientist whose career spans more than 3 decades in pharmaceutical and life biotech sectors. She was appointed as the Life Sciences Coordinator and Instructor of Professional Practice for Rutgers Professional Science Master's Program in December of 2019. In addition to being an active Rutgers faculty member, she is also founder of BAM Consulting, the mission of which is to share industry knowledge with scientist entrepreneurs to help advance their ideas from concept to market, transforming ideas and innovations into commercialized products. In addition to a 25-year career as a research scientist at Merck and Company, Dr. Murphy held leadership and advisory positions at several startups and spin-offs. Dr. Murphy earned her bachelor's degree from Muhlenberg College, her master's from Seton Hall University, and a doctorate from Rutgers University, where she completed her doctoral degree.
Hi, everyone. How are you? I don't even need to introduce myself now because she did such a great job, right? But as she said, my name is Abbe Rosenthal. I am an assistant director and executive coach for the Rutgers Master of Business and Science degree program, which is a hybrid between an MS degree and an MBA. And Dr. Murphy is going to share a little bit more about our program towards the end. And let me see if I'm going to work this right. Yeah. So I have a quick question for everybody. What is the importance of men? You didn't think I was going to ask that, right? A little strange question. What it stands for is mentoring, executive coaching, and networking. 3 things that really are important in your career as you build your professional network and as you grow in your career. So I'm not going to touch on mentoring and executive coaching as much. I'm going to focus more on building a professional network. But I do want to ask you, what is mentoring? Can anybody, in comparison to coaching, advising, therapy, what is mentoring? Can anybody share your thoughts? Any brave soul? What do you think mentoring is? Or what is a mentor? Yeah, absolutely. And I love this visual. It really does capture the various aspects of what a mentor can do for you. They're going to help you improve your skills, soft and technical skills. They help you develop in your career. It is a form of training, absolutely motivational. It provides an aspect of coaching, which isn't identical though, and it's to inspire you in your career. So mentors serve as thought partners, to her point, for students or employees on their academic or career journey and help empower them to become independent thinkers, learners, and architects. And so we always talk in our program about being able to lead your own ship, and in this case, it's really to steer your own ship on your own with the support of a mentor. And mentors share an understanding of one's professional aspirations, concerns, and support their success by acting as an advocate, which is also what I think she was talking about, in their best interest. So what is executive coaching? If you're in a career at an employer, or you're in an undergraduate program or a master's program, how would you describe executive coaching? Anyone? Okay, it's all right. So I'm going to introduce it in the way that I've been trained as an ICF certified coach, and it's called the Double Diamond. So what we do as an executive coach is we support our students or our employees on their professional goals. We help you build confidence, achieve success, and grow your networks, which is what we're going to be touching on also. Having a coach can lead to self-discovery and professional development. So one of the things that I did in my master's program was looking at the Double Diamond and how that discovery, define, develop, and deliver stages help a student or, again, an employee at a company when you have a coach. So the discover and define stage is all about, identifying what is my challenge? What am I struggling with? So you do that discovery and you need to define what it is that you're looking to solve and identify that before you move into the solution finding. So coaches help you find solutions. You work together to come up with solutions to address those challenges. So that's called the Double Diamond. But yeah, having a coach can lead to self-discovery and professional development. For the Rutgers Master of Business and Science degree, we have 4 certified executive coaches to support our students. So what I wanted to mention is our program offers this mentorship and coaching through our alumni student mentoring program, where I match students with alumni in personal care science, or maybe they want to be matched in analytics, or maybe, because we're a very interdisciplinary degree. So we match you with an alumni to help you during your journey. And also, we have something very unique to the program. It's an externship exchange program. It is an employment. It's not an internship. It is an experiential learning initiative that we've built from 4 projects from companies and 12 students to now 190 students and 60 projects per semester. So it gives you an opportunity to work on a project for an executive at Colgate or L'Oreal or Bentley Labs, at Edgewell, and you get to put this on your resume. So these externships often lead to internships as well as full-time opportunities. So that's a really unique part of our program. And as I mentioned, we have 4 ICF certified executive coaches. So what I'm focusing on today for all of you is, so how do you build that professional network? So I've got 6 points I'm just going to briefly go over, right? So for networking, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Very different than what we're used to, but for networking, it is who you know, right? So how do you do that? And also, it's important to note that 70 to 80% of jobs are not advertised. So you're on LinkedIn, you're on Indeed, and a lot of them, you have to go to the career website of the companies because a lot of times they're not even posted. The internships aren't even posted. So it's really important to understand the value of building that professional network. And also, 85% of jobs are filled through networking. So think about that. That's a very high number. And so how are you going to do that networking? Now, we do it very specifically, and we teach our students how to do that in the MBS, but today I'm just going to go through a little bit. Is anybody open to sharing what they think networking is? I know. Go right ahead. Yeah, I mean, networking is a process of building and utilizing valuable professional relationships. It isn't about getting introduced to somebody and asking them for a job. It doesn't work that way. There's too many people who feel like people reach out to them, and the only reason they're reaching out is because they're asking for something. So you really have to lay the foundation by building that network that you can lean on later, right? Networking involves having a career conversation with someone really to gather and to share information. A lot of times what ends up happening is, networking becomes very scary to a lot of people. They're not comfortable reaching out. They don't have those strong skills. We do a lot of coaching and professional development to build those skills. But it can be challenging because we've got some introverts, right? They're not comfortable. They feel networking can be a little slimy. But it really is just asking for directions. And there's a way to finesse those kinds of conversations so that it feels more comfortable to you, uniquely to you. So I'm going to go through those 6 points. So the first and foremost is you have to create an action plan, right? So think about, well, who are the folks that I already know, that I have in my network, but I haven't been in touch with for some time? So I want to go through that step. Next, you want to identify those you want an introduction to, right? Always start with your smaller circle, which is those personal contacts. Who do my friends and family know that I should know, right? Whether you're an undergrad or whether you're thinking about a master's program, you're in a master's program or not, think about your classmates that may have studied chemistry or biochemistry or in personal care, right? Think about the professors that you want to go back to, or even professors in your undergrad program who can help you network. A lot of them are adjuncts, some of them aren't adjuncts and still have a connection to industry. So it's also your alumni association at your college, whether it's undergrad or graduate. Those alumni associations can help you in different sectors, and hopefully those networks are available to you. Also, check out the personal care LinkedIn groups. They post jobs there, they get together and have conversations. Also, think about the talent acquisition reps, recruiters, internal recruiters from your goal employers. Who are the companies that I want to work for? The startups, the mid-size, the big companies. There's recruiting agencies specifically in the personal care space across, nationwide and globally. And also think about being daring and reaching out to some of the hiring leaders, which are your heads of R&D, heads of product development, heads of regulatory or quality or project management or marketing, whatever area you want to be in. Doesn't mean they're going to accept your invite on LinkedIn, but I always tell our students, for every 25 to 30 outreaches that you do, you're going to get a few back. They'll accept, and then the next step is to say, would you be willing to have an exploratory conversation just to learn more about what you do? You'd be surprised how many leaders are willing to do that for students today. So we help arrange that. And the other piece is to commit to a weekly timetable. I'm going to reach out to 5 new people this week, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. So committing to that weekly timetable is really important. But be diligent about it, and also patient, because it does take time. Building a village does take some time. And that's why I was saying you could reach out to 50 people and you get 3 responses, but those 3 responses are going to be really key. The other, very briefly, is the contact management systems. So there's free systems out there, which I don't like to promote anything that has a cost to it for our students. Consider free CMS software. HubSpot CRM, Zoho, you get free up to 500 contacts, Bitrix 24, and Streak, which is integrated with Gmail. So again, these are free for you, so I'm only going to promote things that are free, that can help you track all of these contacts so that you can go back. It's really important to do that tracking. The third is, again, it's always about expanding your community. We're here today, right, and yesterday for Suppliers Day. Go to these industry events. Join the SEC, join your chapter. It's going to be very valuable for you to meet industry leaders, future colleagues, et cetera. And other than the NYSEC and SEC, there are other professional associations that can be very related to cosmetic science. Because, the folks that in our program, we also have food science, and there's a lot of crossover between, as we know, food and cosmetics. So there are other ways to connect in industry, right? Attend local meetups. People are like, well, what's a meetup? So if you go on meetup.com, there are going to be, and search personal care or cosmetic science, it's an opportunity for you to find some groups right now meeting online that are in this field where you live. So they're all local meetups. And again, I'm going to reiterate, join those LinkedIn groups. Search personal care, cosmetics, skincare, hair care, whatever you're interested in, join those groups. You get to know people in industry, and a lot of recruiters sit in those groups as well. You want them to find you. But there are many, so be very strategic about it and think about the ROI, the return on investment, the ones with the greatest value. If you're going to join a group with 20, unless it's local to you or where your destination is, where you want to go, it may not make sense in comparison to the one with 40,000 members. So be strategic about it so it aligns best with your goals. Initiate that interaction. I know it's hard for some of the introverts. Try and take the lead. Introduce yourself and do it in a way that helps you stand out. Ask insightful questions. Can't always be about you. It can also be about what engaged you in this industry. What keeps you at L'Oreal? You know, get them interested and connect with them by asking about them, right? Listen and respond, because the key is to shift from a monologue to a dialogue, to a two-way dialogue. And we do work with our students on how to do that. It can be very uncomfortable. You're just talking, right? You want to be able to make this a conversation. Share your story. It's all about storytelling, right? When you walk up on a career day or when you walk up to these booths, you want to differentiate yourself. You want to be memorable. So make sure you understand what your story is and how you're going to tell that story. Usually 90 seconds to 2 minutes. That's as long as people will listen to your story. And then offer value. How can I support you? Is there any way, what can I do for you in your career or in your company? Plan your follow-up strategy is number 5. This is really key. I think we all have been told, send a thank you email after you've met somebody. Or it was just so great meeting you at Suppliers Day. I learned so much about your company and you. I would love to continue conversations. Connect with them on LinkedIn, right? That's a must. Circle back and inquire further about a way you can support them. Inquire about and attend events that they recommend and attend so that you have something to talk about too. What did you think about that conference? Or I didn't make it. What did you know, how did you experience that? What did you learn from it? What were the takeaways? And the last one is track your success. You always have to make sure, because the metrics need to be set early on, and you want to see and measure your own success with networking. So with whom did you reconnect that you knew before? With whom did you meet for the first time? So new connections. To whom should you reach back out to that you really feel is going to help you reach your destination? And who would you like to meet next month? So you always have to be thinking forward about, all right, so I've done this. What do I want to do next to keep it going? So if you can dream it, you can do it effectively by building that professional network. And I think these 6 steps can really help you guys be successful. So with that, and talking about networking, I want to turn this over to my incredible colleague, Dr. Beth Murphy, who's going to talk about our program.
So in listening to Abby, it's, I'm going to change it up a little bit. And you can learn about our program by going online or coming to our booth or connecting with me, sending me an email. So I just really want to tell you about my personal story, about how my personal network helped me land the job that I'm in right now. So my career was in the drug discovery industry. I worked at Merck & Company, which isn't a personal care company at all. But I was a biologist, I'm a scientist, and there's biology and personal care science. After 25 years of working at Merck decided that they were going to reorganize, and all of a sudden I was out of a job. Wasn't in my life plan. I thought I was going to retire from Merck. I didn't have a personal network, because why would I need one? I was working at America's Most Admired company. Everyone was like, this was like your people work there and they retire from there. So here I was after 25 years, what am I going to do? And for the record, I'm an introvert, okay? An introvert doesn't mean you're shy. An introvert means where you get your energy from. Speaking in public takes energy from me. I am not energized by it. But I knew that having a personal network was really important. So I started to go to networking events. I started to do volunteer work. I ended up through contacts and building my network by going to events. Literally, I would go to 3 or 4 events a week because that was my job. My job was to create my network because I needed to basically have a way of making my way of making a living. So through a couple things, I started volunteering with a program at Rutgers called Innovation Corps. Now, Innovation Corps is an NSF-sponsored program where it's working with entrepreneurs and things like that. And through that, I made a contact with Lori Dars, who was the head of that program, who also happens to be affiliated with the Rutgers MBS program. Guess what? A job came up. Beth is going to be perfect for this job. So in that relationship that I made through this, creating this volunteering type thing, I was able to land my full-time job now here at the Rutgers MBS program. I interviewed her. So I just want to tell you that be open to unexpected things happening. Sometimes it happens serendipitously. Don't get discouraged. And just know that there are more people out there that want to help you than not. So if you want to learn more about our program, come over to our booth, which is booth number
1755.
Yes, I'm going to try to come back this afternoon to chat with you guys, but I just really wanted to tell you about my personal networking journey.
But I'm going to go through quickly those slides because I think it's important, because that's me. I'm an extrovert, and I get energy from all of you. So what is an MBS? Well, what makes us unique is that we're a graduate level program. We're professional science masters, and we combine both the deeper dive in the science with business. So it's basically an MS, MBA type of combination. It is, every program that's here is special in its own way, and you have to find the one that's right for you. If you're interested in being fluent in both the business and the science, that's our program, right? We have 3 tracks: life sciences, with which Beth is the head of, engineering, and computer and information sciences. And our program is interdisciplinary. So if you want to take a class in user experience design, if you want to take a class in data analytics, you can take those classes while you're in our personal care science concentration. So it is truly a way to differentiate yourself. Students sometimes will say to me, but Abby, nobody knows what an MBS is, or few people know what an MBS is. And I'm like, first of all of the big and mid-sized personal care companies know what the MBS is, because I'm knocking on their door and telling them, Beth is knocking on their door and telling them. But we're bringing them in through our externship exchange program, and those leaders are mentoring our students on projects that you get, again, to put on your resume. So it's an opportunity for you to, in your storytelling, to say, I'm fluent in both the business and the science of cosmetic science or hair care, skin care, fragrance, because we have classes too. So we are a 43 credit degree, 24 credits in the science, that's in personal care science, and 19 in the business. And I'll tell you what those 5 core courses are in a minute. You do a capstone at the end of the program, which is building a business from scratch. We're very entrepreneurial in lieu of a thesis. The other requirements are relevant work experience. So how do you get that? You get that through externship, internship, and we help you find those full-time opportunities. And then we call them colloquia, which are these types of lectures, academic lectures, professional development events, networking. The required courses for personal care science: 2, you have your foundation course, which is fundamentals, and then product development and formulations, and then you choose 3 from a list. Can be fragrance, can be dermaceutics, can be intro to colloid and interface science, could be a variety. Regulatory. And then the required business courses are finance and accounting, ethics, which Dr. Murphy teaches, market assessment, communication and leadership, and as I said, that capstone. And we have alumni in, this is just a smidgen of where our alumni are working. So again, you don't need to look at this with regard to application deadlines. You can go on our website, but I guess we're almost at, for spring 2022 is right there. And summer's March 1, and fall is July of next year. We did waive the GREs, but there is an added questionnaire We've waived the application fee for domestic students. Here is our typical GPA, and then you don't need to know about engineering management for work experience. And it does include 2 letters of recommendation, which can be a professor or 2, or your employer, personal statement, which is 500 words on why you would want to be in the MBS program, your resume, official transcripts, and a questionnaire.